hair anywhere on your body is okay because it is natural. I don't want you to look at your body and look at the hair on your body and be like, this is so weird. It's not weird. It is natural. It is human nature. Hey guys, it's Sharon. This video is probably one of my favorite videos to make ever because I feel like it is just so raw and so genuine, and it is just us helping each other, and I live for that. So basically, I have this series on my channel called Girl Talk where I answer questions that you are too afraid to ask anyone in your life, like your mom, your sister, your grandma, whoever. So you ask me, a stranger on the internet, which I'm totally okay with answering them as best as I can because I'm not a specialist. I'm literally just a stranger on the internet with a little bit of experience and a lot of experience being a girl. So that is what we're doing today. If you want to see more videos like this, give this a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. Like I mentioned, this is part of the series. You can go binge the rest of that series for other juicy questions. I do try not to repeat the same questions, so if you have some questions that haven't been answered today, they might have been answered before, so definitely go check that out. And if you like to be in these videos or have been saying them, definitely follow my Instagram, my Twitter, and my TikTok so you have a say, be in them, and get to be shout out of the day as well. And of course, if you want to see more, you should definitely subscribe for more. Now before I get into the video, I do want to say some very exciting news. So I will be at Clamour Live in Dallas, Texas, August 6th through 8th. Yes, I'm doing a meetup. I know, that's absolutely crazy. We are definitely following COVID guidelines, of course, though. Don't worry. But hey, if you live in Dallas, if you live near Dallas, if you want to go to Dallas and you would like to meet me, I'm actually hosting a giveaway right now to go to the event. You can go check that out in my description, pinned comment, and my Instagram, and you can also just get your own tickets if you like to guarantee going anyways. But I'm super excited about that. It is crazy that life is kind of slowly getting back to normal. Wow. Anyways, go grab your snacks, go grab your tea, and well, we're about to spill some tea, or we're gonna sip some tea. I don't know, just go grab all your goodies and let's get into this. What is the best way to remove hair down there? Now this specifically, I know I've gone in depth, technically speaking. Like, I have a girl talk where I talked about shaving down there, but here's the thing, there are other options than just shaving, and I think these options kind of are based on what you prefer. You can get a wax, you can get laser hair removal, you can use like some type of hair removal cream. You don't have to shave all of it, you don't have to shave at all. So it really is just what you prefer. So something I use is actually kind of like this shaving gel, which is like a bikini gel to kind of help with bumps, because I think bumps are like the most annoying part ever about shaving. And I think another really good tip that I use is I sometimes don't shave all of it. If anything, I just trim because I really hate razor bumps. Razor bumps are horrible. They're so itchy, they're so ugly, they look like you got chicken pox on your hoo-ha. But yeah, that's actually another option. You don't have to shave, you can just trim. Listen girl, it is your body. Whatever you want to do with it is what matters the most. How do you clean down there while you're on your period? Long story short, I tried and a clot fell and I haven't tried since. So if you're on your period and you see a blood clot, that is totally normal. That's not because you cleaned it and that happened. A clot happens when your uterus is shedding too much blood for your body to keep up with. That is just totally normal. Don't be freaked out by them. I want to say the best way to just clean downstairs when you're on your period, and honestly in general, is just with water. You don't want to stick anything in your vagina. You don't want to use soaps, especially scented soaps, because fragrance is irritating, and you don't want to stick anything in your vagina, or honestly you don't want to even go like inside the lips of your vagina or not even near them that much. I recommend just using water. I use warm water to kind of rinse it off, and when you're on your period in specific, I would recommend to just stay fresh down there as much as possible. Like if you have some wipes, unscented wipes of course, definitely use those. Try to wear loose fitting clothes so you're not sweating that much and making that bacteria and odor stay down there, or try to keep your legs open a bit, let it breathe down there. There's so many little things like that, but when it comes to like actually cleaning, just add water. Can you get pregnant from masturbation? I feel like this is such a wholesome question. No, you cannot get pregnant from masturbation. The only way you can get pregnant is by having sperm inserted into you, and sperm is what comes from a penis. So once the sperm touches your eggs, it could create a baby, and that's basically how babies are made. So if you're touching yourself, you can't get pregnant unless a man is touching you with his, you know. Does first time having sex hurt? How will I not pass out due to the blood? So here's the thing, it's not like you're hella bleeding when having sex. I hear mixed stories. Some people bleed on their first time, some don't. Sometimes it's really painful for someone's first time, sometimes it's not. Every body literally is different. I've never heard of a time when there is an exception excessive amount of blood from your first time. So I don't think you're gonna pass out. I think you're in the clear. If there is excessive bleeding though, you might want to go check that out. I'm not gonna lie. So again, whether or not it actually hurts, one way to find out, and I'm not telling you to go find out, but I am telling you there is one way to find out. I also recommend lubing it up because sometimes sex hurts when there is friction and dryness. Make sure you're wet and lubed up down there. That'll probably prevent any pain if there were to be pain. How to avoid the fishy smell down there. So I kind of hinted at this earlier. That fishy smell isn't from your period blood per se. The fishy smell is more from your sweat and that bacteria mixing down there. So ways to avoid this would be, again, wear loose fitting clothes. Also wear cotton underwear. It's a lot more breathable. Also try to keep your legs a little bit wide, you know? Don't close them too much where it starts sweating down there. Also try to freshen up as often as you can. Probably recommend not spraying some perfume because once you get that perfume mixed with that stench, it just creates an even worse stench, and I'll never forget about my PE coach complaining about that in the girls' locker room. So just little things like that. My downstairs area gets really itchy a lot and I don't know why. So this is something you might want to get checked out because itchiness, you never know if that's a sign of like an infection. I would honestly advise try to not itch as much as you can, or maybe use some anti-itch cream specifically for your vagina though, but it is still something that I would probably get checked out because you never know. And the second you sense something wrong down there, don't be afraid of the gyno. The gyno will be your best friend. The gyno is my best friend. I love her. She always knows what's up and what's wrong, and the gyno is not that scary. I promise. You want to keep your vagina healthy. So the second you feel something wrong, go check it out. How do you know when you've finished? Trust me, sis. When people say you know, they mean it. Like, you know when you've finished. And that's all I can tell you. Like, it's not something that can be described. It's just something that like happens and you're like, oh, that's what it is. So it's like, it's literally just one of those, when you know, you know. So if you're out there wondering if you've finished or not, you haven't, because you just will know. What is head? So head is another saying, because there are so many other sayings, like I think it's fellatio, I don't know, I can never pronounce that right. There's also dome. There's also the term going down. It's basically just when you go down on a person, meaning you put your mouth where their genitals are and you give them pleasure that way. That is head. So 69, for example, you might hear that. That's basically when you are giving pleasure to a man orally and when the man is giving pleasure to you orally, or whoever you're getting with, just pleasure orally. Wait, there's another term, oral sex. How to get comfortable talking about sex and periods. I want to get more comfortable, but I'm kind of scared. How should I do it? I think the way you do it is just by doing it. And to be honest, I feel like there's such a double standard and such hypocrisy when it comes to sex and just women's health, because men can talk about sex all they want and they're not looked down on it, but the second a woman does, she is, which is absolutely crazy. Also, periods are something women can't control. They literally have no say or no choice when it comes to a period. So it's crazy to me that periods are still kind of taboo, when it's like there's nothing taboo about it. It's just what a woman's body naturally does. So why is that so bad? So literally the only way you get more comfortable talking about it is talking about it. And if someone reacts weirdly, honestly, they're a little bit immature. Change my mind. Why does it hurt so bad when I'm taking out my tampons? The main reason why it hurts when you're taking out a tampon is because you are too dry, or the tampon is the wrong size for you. Tampons really aren't as painful as they may seem to be. It just really depends on which tampon you're using it and making sure that you're using it at the right time. If you are not bleeding that much, or if it's like at the beginning of your period or the end of your period when there isn't that much blood, that is not the right time to use a tampon, because you are drier down there than your heaviest days. So your heaviest days are the best time to use a tampon. The drier you are, the worse it's gonna feel. It's gonna feel like you're just pulling out dry cotton out of your vagina, and that's not fun. Also, sizes. If you don't bleed that much, you don't want to get a super tampon. You might want to get a light flow tampon, because if you don't bleed that much and you bleed this tiny bit on a gigantic tampon, it's gonna be dry and it's gonna hurt. It's probably just really finding the right size and the right time to use a tampon. Why do I poop so much when I'm on my period? Listen, period poops are literally a thing. And I mentioned this in some other video. There is literally some science behind it. It's some type of hormones or something like that, whatever. It literally causes you to poop more. So yes, period poops are an actual thing. You're not weird, you're normal. Hashtag period poops are normal. How does a menstrual cup feel inside? So I actually have a video on my channel where I tried a menstrual cup for the first time. time. I ironically have it right next to me. I tried this menstrual cup and I was bleeding a lot when I tried it because, you know, it's a menstrual cup, it's gonna cup up all my blood, and I generally would forget at times that I have a menstrual cup inside me because I just wouldn't feel it. You fold it like this, like a little taco, and that's how you insert it. And the way you take it out is basically, it gets a little bit messy. You stick your finger in and you kind of fold it to turn into a little taco again, and you pull it out, and then you got, you know, the blood in here. So time to find out, sis. But for the record, for me, I would generally forget that I had one in. Do you lose your virginity after masturbating? No, you do not. The only way you lose your virginity is by having sex. So basically, when you have a penis inside you is when you lose your virginity. But virginity is also, I think, just a social construct, because what if you're not even straight? What if you're having sex with a woman and you are a woman? You're not having penetration by a penis, so how are you losing your virginity? But it's your first time having sex, even though it's not with someone that has a penis. So basically, virginity is just your first time having sex. We'll leave it at that. So do you guys prefer when girls shave down there? Listen, it does not matter what a guy prefers for anything. I used to shave for guys, and I'm not saying just downstairs area. I'm saying like my legs, my armpits, whatever part of me that can be shaved. Shave for yourself, dude. It is your body. You do what you want with it, and don't feel like you have to shave for someone else. If you're gonna shave for someone, make it for yourself, because is he gonna shave? What if he doesn't shave and then you shave for him and then he didn't even shave for you? What's the point? Do what makes you happy. Do you guys get hair on their thing too? So I kind of just answered that. Yes, they do. We got pubes. Pubes is hair down there, and they're very natural. Don't be ashamed of your pubes. If you want to trim them, go for it. If you want to shave them, go for it. If you want to let them grow, go for it. Your body, your choices. What does a man finishing in sex mean, and what does a woman finishing in sex mean? What's the difference between the two finishing? So basically, when you finish in sex, when you climax in sex, that's when you have an orgasm. And I don't want to say this factually, but I kind of want to say this factually. I want to say it's a lot easier for men to finish than it is for women to finish. And apparently they're supposed to feel different. It's so difficult to describe this unless you've experienced it, if that makes sense. But just know that the running joke amongst women is the guy's always gonna finish, and good luck if you finish, because the guy's gonna get his nut and leave you high and dry. So find a guy that lets you get your nut too. My family always told me tampons were for people who slept around. If you're a virgin, can you still use one? This is one of the things I hate most about the stigma around tampons. You cannot lose your virginity with a tampon. Again, you only use your virginity when you've had sex. And just because you've had sex or you haven't had sex doesn't mean you can't or can't use a tampon. A tampon is literally just a period product. That's it. I don't understand why people want to connect it to virginity and having sex and being slutty and being a whore, hoe, whatever. Like, it's just so weird and such a strange concept to me. It's literally just a tool to soak your menstrual blood. That is it. And there are so many other things that are inserted into a vagina for menstrual bleeding as well. There's menstrual cups and there's menstrual disc. Like, what are those for people that sleep around too? It's just weird. No, you won't lose your virginity with a tampon. You're fine. And can we please stop telling girls that will happen? What does MILF stand for? MILF is mother I'd like to, rhymes with duck. There's also a DILF, which is dad I'd like to, rhymes with duck. It's basically a hot mom that you'd want to get with. Is hair on nipples okay? Hair anywhere on your body is okay because it is natural. I don't want you to look at your body and look at the hair on your body and be like, this is so weird. It's not weird. It is natural. It is human nature. And I hate how people have made it so not normal. So let's make hair normal again. Does porn really affect relationships? In general, I think things only affect relationships if you let them affect relationships. So for example, porn affecting relationships, this might be something you want to talk about your partner beforehand. If it bothers you, bring it up. If it doesn't, then I guess you're in the clear. Like, I think communication is key. So as long as you communicate about what's bothering you, that's all that matters. So I don't want to say porn itself affects relationships. It's just lack of communication that affects relationships, or even insecurities or lack of trust. There's just so many other things that can affect a relationship itself versus one specific thing, because there's something behind that specific thing, if that makes sense. So as long as you just communicate with your partner, I think that's what matters the most. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions that I did not get to answer, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And if you want to see a part 2, definitely let me know by giving this a thumbs up. And of course, like I mentioned, I do have a lot more on my channel. I have a whole girl talk playlist that you can binge, and I also have an all about periods playlists that you can binge as well. Now, shout out of the day goes to Paris on Instagram. Thank you so much. If you would like to be shout out of the day, just follow me on my Instagram and stay active. And of course, like I mentioned, I will be at Clamour Live in Dallas August 6th through the 8th. So if you would like to come meet your girl, make sure to enter my giveaway or, you know, get your own tickets. I'm so excited to see you guys, and we can have girl talks in person. How fun. I also want to throw in that I have another playlist on my channel where I spill a bunch of tea and secrets and all that good stuff. So if you want to check that out, you definitely can as well. But if you would like to see more, make sure you subscribe. And all that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.